You gotta get out of that environment and start fresh and anew. Move to that hometown that you've always wanted to move to. I made that decision and never looked back. I actually manifested it to happen. A year before I met my boyfriend, I was telling myself, and I remember consciously, I was like, I'm gonna move to California. I don't know how I'm gonna do it. Hey everyone, so this video is going to be a little bit more like a story time, but also more of a motivational video to get those who feel like they're stuck in their hometowns to finally leave that place and to start their dream life in their dream town. And that's what I did. I can't even believe it's been 5 years ago since the pandemic started, is when I moved to Los Angeles, California to pursue my dreams and visions. My dreams and visions, even though they might have changed a little bit, I've always wanted to live in Los Angeles. I came here initially because I'm a videographer and my boyfriend is an artist and we just work together and we have this business going on where we wanted to take it to the next level, and he already has connections out here, so it was just perfect for me. He already had a family out here. He was from here for real originally, and I'm back from Virginia. That's where we met. So that's where we met in Virginia, but he was already from California when we met over there. And so we stayed over there for a year when we first met in Virginia until he was like, when you have an apartment for a lease for a year, the lease is about to be over, so you're about to make a decision. Do we stay? Do we go? So we had that type of a conversation, and it just came up like, let's just move to California. And I was just like, I've always wanted to move to California ever since I was a kid. Like, that's all. This California has always been my dream place to live. Like, that place. Like, even now, fast forward today, I feel like I'm more at home here than my hometown, than where my family's from. I feel more at home in California. It's just the vibes here, the people here. It fits my personality. I grew up a military brat, so I'm used to multicultural environments, and California is the perfect mixing pot for different cultures. They got Asian people, Koreatown reminds me of Okinawa, Japan. If you go to Beverly Hills, there's that side of town. There's all different kinds. Los Angeles is like filled with different countries. If you guys know what I'm saying, for those who live here, it's just different cultures everywhere. So that was big for me. So, and then the way people are out here, they're just different. Smoking is legal out here, so that's cool. But it's just the vibes here. People are more laid back and more. I don't know how to explain the hospitality here, but I love it. I'm here for it. So we made that decision to move out here. We planned our move. We started looking at apartments a few months before we actually decided to, because we drove across country to get here. But we were looking at apartments online for somewhere to live. And we ended up finding a place. And, we packed our bags. We packed our apartment up. We took what we needed. So we were basically going to start all over again when we move out there, furniture-wise and everything. So we just sold what we had, got everything together, and we started driving across country. It took us 3 days. We took a stop in Kansas, which I had a duty station in a couple years prior, so I was familiar with that area. So we stayed in Kansas for like 2 days just to get our rest on, and then we continued on the road. It took us 3 days, but it was an experience. I got to see all kinds of different cities. I got to see Colorado. Colorado is beautiful, y'all. That would be my second place to go if I ever had to pick. For real. But driving through the mountains and stuff is just, It's an experience if you get to travel across country. It really is. You get to see all kinds of stuff. It's a long drive. It's a long drive though, so you're gonna have to have somebody switch with you if you're gonna do this. You can't drive alone. I mean, you could, but it's just really gonna be hard. I wouldn't recommend driving alone across country as a female, anyways. But if there's men listening, I just would recommend. It's just safer. That's all. But you can do whatever you want to do. Make your dreams happen. Don't stay in your hometown and let it just consume you. And there's too much drama in your hometown. Everywhere you go, there's a reminder, a history, a memory, something. That restaurant reminds you of the time when you and your ex, blah, blah, blah. You gotta get out of that environment and start fresh and anew. Move to that hometown that you've always wanted to move to. I made that decision to never look back. I actually manifested it to happen. A year before I met my boyfriend, I was telling myself, and I remember consciously, I was like, I'm going to move to California. I don't know how I'm going to do it, but I'm going to do it. And then a year later, I meet somebody who so happened to be from from California, who wants to move there. So it's just like a coincidence? I think not. So, here we are, settled in 5 years later. I have my job, I'm stable. It took us a while to get stable and together, but because California is not cheap, and you gotta be careful with people out here. There's a lot of scamming going on, especially when you're buying homes. We almost got scammed with a home, so don't start looking for apartments on like Craigslist or Facebook, because you just can't trust that. You just can't trust that. I might do a story time about that. It's a very specific story. So what I did to get prepared for the move, I did Uber Eats for like a couple of weeks before we moved to save up some extra money. I did Instacart a little bit. Even when we got here, that was kind of my first job. And then I ended up working at Amazon. Because Amazon, they hire easily. So I always try to look for the Amazons in the area whenever I move. Because it's just easy to get in there. And I have social anxiety, so I don't like customer service jobs. So I prefer a warehouse job. So that's just personally my choice. But so since then I had other jobs out here as cashier, whatever. Nothing too big yet. I'm trying to do my own thing for real with videography. So that's been doing pretty good so far. My videography business has grown a lot. So has my talents. I've been practicing. But yeah, I did some acting gigs out here too. That was one of my main dreams when I was younger, to be an actor. It kind of changed a little bit as I got older, but it's still in me to want to act. So I did some small side gigs through Backstage, which that was fun. I might get back on Backstage and look for some gigs later on today, because it's a lot of opportunities out here in Los Angeles. But if Los Angeles isn't your your dream hometown, find the dream hometown for you. That's for you, and just make the plans to go, even if it's outside the country. A lot of people have been trying to leave the country. I've been thinking about Thailand. Like, in a perfect situation for me, if I was single with no kid, no family, no nothing, and I was just single, I would move to Thailand, probably. Because a lot of people are moving to Costa Rica and Panama, all of these different places, Thailand, Japan, China. People are leaving the country because, who's been tripping in the office. So, but it's a big cultural difference when you do leave the country. I've been out of the country a few times. I lived in Poland, Germany, Japan, and it's different. The people are different. The food is different. The environment is different. Everything is just healthier in other countries. It's cheaper. Inflation here is just crazy. But if there's not a home city in the States, you can move out of the country. Just do your research on those things, because there's a lot of people giving out information on how they did it, look on TikTok for videos of people who have traveled across country there. There's a bunch of resources on that. But just make it happen. Don't just say you're going to do something. Make it happen. And I'm not going to sit here and say if you don't have anybody, you do it alone anyways. You should do what you want to do. Just you have to be really safe. You have to be safe. Especially if you're a female. You have to protect yourself. Have something to protect yourself with. If you have to do this by yourself, you don't have a choice. Some women, just need to get out of the bad environment that they're in. Save up the money if you have a job. If you don't have a job, try to do Uber Eats somehow. They let you rent a car nowadays so you can start working to make your own money. There's different ways you can make money. Instacart. Save your money. Use apps like Klarna and Zip to save money. But make that first step to plan to leave. Because you're going to be miserable if you stay in your hometown, I'm telling you. But yeah, this is 2025 and it's time to make some big changes. For me, I've already did this big accomplishment. This was one of my biggest goals come true. Living in Los Angeles. Like my biggest dream come true, and it's expensive, but if you have somebody who can help you with rent and stuff, you can make it happen. There's ways you can make it happen. Just try to figure it out. But the big thing here is save. I wouldn't even recommend investing. That's what I plan on doing more often. I'm planning on investing my money more so I can see a return. Instead of having the money just sit in savings, I can see a profit over time. But that's all I really wanted to talk about on this video. Just move to your dream town, country, city. Just get out of where you're at and start going being happy. Start focusing on your happiness and your dreams. Because only you have control of that. Don't let nobody stop you. It's time for your happiness, okay? So that's all I really wanted to say on here. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section. And if you have any questions about traveling across the country, I can give you as much information as I can. But, let me know. And I'll talk to you guys next time. Thank you for listening.